merch. So big shout out. Thank you, boys. Today is Friday, and I said, you know what? It's gonna be 80 degrees. We're taking the lamb out. So, a little POV of this thing, being good. It's so good, boys. Absolutely love this car. I've had it now, probably going on a month now, and I just absolutely love it. So, let's do a little pole ski here, trying to be good. We'll do a little bit of grip. All right, boys, we're in the shop now. I forgot the GoPro this morning, so that's why you're seeing a little bit later starting today, is because I've already been here working. Today, we got Emanuel's car on the dyno, and I did go ahead and remove the hood because we didn't have a way to hold the hood open. I didn't want to risk it falling, so I do have that off right now. Like I said, went ahead and did drivability on this thing, dialed everything in. It was pretty much dialed in already from the E-tune I did on it. And our first pull, which I'll throw in here with the clip. Normally record on my phone, but I'm gonna throw this clip in here. Get these damn fans off. I got Emanuel's car on the dyno, as you guys will already have seen in the intro of this, and I went ahead, cleaned up some of the drivability. I wasn't planning on doing a pull here because I don't have the GoPro. I need to go home and get it. I forgot it, so you guys can be on the phase of what's going on in this thing. So E-tuned this car for Emanuel. He said 34 pounds was where he wanted to leave it, so we did it to 34 pounds. Going from Portland to here, there was a little bit of a boost decrease because of elevation, obviously, so it fell short 32 to 33 pounds here on the log. And you can see behind me, this is gonna look weird. Let me switch the camera around. Here we have our E-tuned tune graph there. A little bit rich up top, so that's where it's laying down a little bit. Some of that's gonna be cam anyways, because that's 8,500. Inevitably, Subarus start to taper after about 82, 8,300. So we'll see where it goes today. I did raise the Reveler, but 731, 551, 32 to 33 pounds. I would definitely say that is a win for this setup. 7675 Process West doing work, guys. So really happy with that. I'm gonna do one more. I raised the boost target up to 38, and then I'm gonna go get the GoPro for you guys so I have better footage, but I'm gonna record just on the phone for you, and let's see what it makes. I'm really curious to see how big of an increase we get out of the 4 pounds I'm shooting for. Sorry, it would be 6 pounds total if it hits my target. So let's see what happens here and see how much power we're gaining per boost. But this is secondary on top of it. You guys will see a little bit more about this in a moment. I did record that on the phone, so it might be a little bit less quality, but today, of what our goal is on this car is just to go until the car stops making power like it should. So what that means is turning boost up and seeing how much we're gaining per pound. And right now we turned it up about 5 PSI and it made almost another 100 wheel. So we know we're within our range. So that's what you guys are gonna be seeing today on this thing. Really excited to see where things go, but let's go ahead and jump into today. Now I got you guys all caught up. Went ahead, did that last pull there. That one was 815 and 594 torque. Almost 100 wheel over what we were at on the 32 pound map. And this was 38 pounds. So you can see here overlaid over each other. That was a 731 below it. So definitely see a good increase. Everything's looking really good. A little rich up top, so I went ahead and cleaned that up there. Our next boost target is going to be 42 to 44 pounds in that region. If it keeps following suit on how I've been adding boost, I add another 5% wastegate duty here, which should give me about another 4 pounds of boost. So we'll see how that does. I got it loaded on the car. I would like to see mid 800 Mustang on this type of boost. We would be in a really good spot. If you guys remember way back with Travis's car, when he had a 7675 on it, fender exit, it made 840 Mustang, and that was on 52 pounds. So that was like an all-in scenario. I don't recall if he still had his AMS intake manifold or not, but this setup is working really well to my surprise. It is a 7675. It does have a Q300 catback on it, so we do have a pretty tight downpipe radius there, and we do have a catback on the car, so it's definitely making some really good power for what we are. So let's go ahead, get this thing fired back up. Let's do this next poll. Can we get to the mid 800s? For those of you just tuning into this thing, I want to do a quick overview of the setup. This is Emanuel Raphael's car. It's a 26 Hyper Blue, obviously. 2016 Hyper Blue, obviously. We have a Process West intake manifold. We have an IAG Extreme Stage 4 long block, Precision 7675. This is an ETS rotated kit with a custom downpipe. Header wise, if I remember, it's ETS Max Flow V2s on this thing. Set of FIC 2150s. We have a Walbro 450 in the tank, and then 2 more in a Radium surge tank. So definitely all the fuel in the world. ETS 4-inch front mount, if I recall correctly, but really excited to see this thing today. Manuel's goal is just to let it make as much power as we can, where the car is still physically making power. So let's go ahead, get jumping into it. Wrapping up that pull there. I did let out just a hint early because it did go rich up top, but 45 pounds, some good power, boys. 875, 619. If you add our 13% to that, guys, that puts us at 988 dyno jet, 45 pounds. I'm very happy of that. I went ahead and sent it over to Emanuel. Said it's still making some really good power. I also had pulled a little bit of timing out of it on that one versus the last one for the initial hit and a degree out up top. Kind of just staying on the safer realm of things as much as you can at this power, right? So what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna make the changes to the fuel map. I'm gonna move the boost target up to 50 pounds, and hopefully we can just crack that 1,000 wheel into dyno jet mark. Maybe even see 900 on the Mustang dyno. So let's go ahead and make the changes, see what happens. Really excited for Emanuel. This is awesome. Seeing the car work, very impressive. So let's go ahead and make those changes and do another pull. Boys, 49 to 50 psi is like 49.5, and then a taper down to 48 up top. But here we are, 1,000 wheel, baby. So 913 on the Mustang, 635. You can see there, I could have kept revving it out. I really don't like to rev them too far out in the dyno. That was right at the 85, 8600 mark. Could have revved it out to probably 88, 9,000, but on the dyno I prefer not to. But you can see they're beautiful. It was still gaining power. Everything was looking good. Boost did start to taper. 913, 635. Really happy for Emanuel. I'll see what he tells me to do from here. But I mean, that is some killer power. If you add the 13% that we normally do on our numbers, 913, that would be 1,031 at this power right now. That's making some jam. I'm starting to see, like I said, the boost is coming up and it's starting to taper, which tells me we're starting to have signs of back pressure, which with our NVIDIA Q300, I am not too surprised that that is starting to be a problem at this type of boost. So I will see what he says and let you guys know. That might be the end of it for today, which I'm definitely happy with. That's the most made on this dyno with a 7675. Definitely an awesome power band at the lower boost than what I did with Travis' car. So everything is working on this car, working great. I'll let him know and let you guys know. All right, boys, so I talked to Emanuel and he said he is plenty happy where we are, as we all would, like more power. That's pretty normal, but we're happy with where the car is right now. I mean, what more could you ask? This thing has AC, power steering, drives like stock, and a power band like that, you can't complain. So car showed up on E85. Normally I'd start on pump, then go to E85, but it showed up on E85, so now I'm going to go ahead and drain that tank. I'm also going to drain the other saddle of the tank because it does have a full tank of E85 in the car right now. So if I don't drain the other saddle, it's going to continue to have some in it. And I want to get this thing as close as I can down to, you know, that like E10 to E12 mark. So we have a good example of pump gas. So I'm going to do that now. That's going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to work on the pump map. I think we stopped at 24 pounds, so we'll see what that does on here. I did E-tune that as well, so it should be pretty straightforward. Load it on, just go through, verify some of the drivability stuff, and go over the map on the car. So letting it cool down right now, and then we're going to go ahead and start on this pump. I'll show you guys what it makes there. He wanted me to do a POV drive of it, but I'm going to leave that for him. I'm not going to take this thing out. It's got some Hot Boy tires on it, and for me to feel comfortable, I'm just not going to do it. So let me get this E85 out and we'll do a couple pulls on pump. All right, so I was going to record the pump gas more side of it for you guys, but I just went ahead and knocked this out, and I'm going to show you guys the graph. You guys see me do pump gas a million times, but again, Emanuel's car on the dyno, I had to reload it because I took it off. This is another day. I don't know quite where I left off the last time I had this thing on the dyno, but in the end, the first pull I did with the E-tune map, it made 459 uncorrected on the Mustang and 498 corrected, and that was on 22 pounds. It was tuned on 24, lost 2 pounds coming down here for elevation because we are at a higher elevation here in Spokane. Didn't get a view of the graph. Looked really clean, looked like it was a little bit rich up top, so it came into power. Then it did fall down towards redline, which was at 83 or 8400. So I did clean that up. I did go ahead and change the boost curve on this thing. I know Emanuel doesn't really care about pump gas. He mainly wants us to drive to car shows and miles per gallon, so I wasn't going to try to push the car too hard. I brought power in 24 pounds and ramped it up to 30 at redline. As you can see here, we made 531 uncorrected, 583 corrected today. Nice, beautiful graph. It is starting to lay down. It wants more timing up there, but this is pump gas and there's only so much timing I can put in the car. So that's what it made. If you're curious what it is today, it's about 95 to 100 degrees in this dyno shop today. So that is why you're seeing a larger gap between our power and our, uncorrected and corrected number there. Just to be transparent with you guys, it's pretty warm in here. You can't tell I'm dying. So just to give you guys some insight too, we had a lovely neighbor complain about the noise. Granted, we are in a whole industrial area. We don't have a noise ordinance, but they found the loophole, and that is decibel reading. So apparently industrial is only allowed to 65 decibels, and I'm sure these cars are probably, you know, in the hundreds when they're doing a full pull. So it is obviously loud. Usually I'd have the door open, but then it echoes off that shop and then it goes over to a neighborhood right over behind us that was built after these shops, of course, kind of like the racetrack situations where people move next to a racetrack knowing it's there and then complain about noise. So been being nice and trying to keep the noise down. I've been shutting the door during pulls. Definitely could probably use a little bit better ventilation in here, but it gets even warmer and hotter in the shop a lot quicker anyways. Outside today was just shy of 90, so you can tell there obviously is going to be an increase in here versus out there when I have a hot motor running. So give you guys a little bit of update. It's like another Bob and Karen situation, but you know, what can you do? Ever since we've been closing the door on the shop, and it does cut down like half of the noise outside, the output, and I haven't had any issues with complaints since then. But that is gonna wrap it up on Manuel's car. Really happy of how this thing turned out. This thing is gonna be all ready to go back to him. Touch out on this video too. I don't remember if I said it at the beginning, but again, thank you so much guys for each and every one of you that did go ahead and purchase our new merch that we have on our website. And if you haven't had a chance yet, there is still some available. Link is down in the description there. Be sure to grab some before they do run out, because it might take a little bit of time before we do restock those. So make sure to grab something like that. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and until next time, I'm not sure what we'll be doing, but I'll update you when we get something.
Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. Life up in the fast lane, fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living life up in the fast lane. Life, though you limits, you just put them in Coronas, Coronas, Coronas. I've been working, I need that advance with the bonus, the bonus, the bonus. Ain't no thoughts about tomorrow, I'm just living in the moment, the moment, the moment. Full tank of gas and 200 on the dash, bitch, I'm zoning, I'm zoning, I'm zoning. Fast lane, living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. Life up in the fast lane, fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living